Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. At kung nasan man kayo ngayon, please comment down below para alam ko kung saan at kailan nyo napanood itong aking video. This video is for reviewer lang to, okay? For my psychometrician route. Claim it, I can pass it. Pasensya na sa background noise because I have my kuya na siya PWD, meron siyang yun, and nag-iingay siya pero pasensya na. Ganun talaga siya, normal yan sa kanya guys. Okay? So, let's start. Andito pa rin tayo pero dito na po tayo sa may parties in psychological assessment and the assumption about psychological testing and assessment. Ang ating topic yan. Okay, yan. Nasa part 3 na po tayo. Guys, kapit lang. Ito, simulan na natin. Ang parties. Who are the parties? These are the parties in psychological assessment. Meron tayong 7. Oops. Paano ba to? Tanggalin ko lang muna. Do not disturb. Yan. Okay, pasensya na sa interruption. Okay, we have 7 psychological assessment. First is developer or author. Second is test publisher, followed by test reviewer, test user, test takers, test sponsors, and society at large. So, isa-isahin natin yan guys. First, we have test author, test developer, and author. Paras lang din man ito ng ating publisher. Creates the tests or other methods of assessments, guys. And ito naman yung test publisher. They publish, market and sell. Then, ginagawa din nila, they control the distribution of the test. They create tests and other method of assessment. More than 100,000, 20,000 psychological tests are developed each year according to APA. This is made for specific studies, made in the hopes to be published, and modification and revision of existing ones. Okay, this is next na tayo is test reviewer. Prepared evaluate critics based on the technical and practical aspect of the test. Okay, dito naman po tayo sa test users. Test users, the professional who use physiological tests and assessment method in their fields. However, there are existing guidelines about the needed qualification for the user when using certain tests and methods. For example, a psychometrician is not allowed to use level C type of test. Ganun. Okay? Test takers, anyone who is the subject of an assessment or evaluation, even the this case. For example nito siguro is psychological autopsy. Ano nga ba yung psychological autopsy? Reconstruction of a decade person's psych profile based on their case history, data, and previous archival records. Okay? Ano naman yung test sponsor? This is institution or government who contract test developers for various testing service. Okay? Society at large. This is the tests are refers to address the changing population. Laws are enhanced to govern these new and reverse tests. Other parties like organization, governmental agencies, and companies like other let's ano pa in the sponsor test development for various reasons. Okay? Tako naman tayo sa part 4 natin. The assumption about psychological testing and assessment. Okay? Akala ko dati talaga, magkaiba yung traits at saka yung statements. Pero, Pero, hindi pala siya magkahiwalay na meron siyang connection, guys. Meron siyang connections. Okay? Ano nga pa yung traits? Init sa Pilipinas. So, first assumption natin, guys. Define muna natin yung traits. Trait is relatively enduring way in which one individual varies from one another. Okay? Permit people predict the present from the past. In our the traits then is characteristic patterns of thinking, feeling, and having that generalize across similar situation, differ systematically between individuals and remain rather stable across time. Ano nga ba yung traits? Ito sa Tagalog ay ugali. Relatively enduring. Hindi ka agad nagbabago sa tagal ng panahon. Meron ding pwede rin siguro unti-unti, pero hindi biglaan, an extraversion. Okay? Ano naman ang states? The states is distinguish one person from another but are relatively less enduring. Ang state ay hindi nagtatagal. Pwedeng magbago. Example nito is feelings, mood, yung mga ganon. Okay? State is ang characteristic pattern nito, pattern of thinking, feeling, and behavior in a concrete situation at a specific moment in time. Identify those behavior that can be controlled by manipulating the situation. Tulad nga ng sabi ko kanina, ang traits at ang states ay magkakonekta. May connection siya. Like this one, psychological trait exists as contracts. Right? Okay, lipat na muna natin. Ano yung lipat? Yan. Traits. Psychological traits. Psychological traits is the intelligence. Halimbawa ng psychological traits, specific intellectual ability, cognitive style, adjustment, attitude, sexual orientation, preference, psychopathology, at marami pang iba. Again, this trait is relatively enduring. Hindi kaagad-agad nagbabago. Okay? Para siya ng traits na meron din siyang patterns ng thinking, feeling. Okay? Ano naman yung traits? Yan. Tulad pa rin, meron pa rin siyang thinking, feeling. Okay? Sa traits ay meron tayong construct and inform, specific, concept, develop, or structure to explain a behavior informed from overt behaviors. Okay? Ano naman yung overt behavior? An observable action or the product of an observable action. Trait is not expected to be manifested in behavior 100% of the time, whether the trait manifests itself in observable behavior and to what degree it manifests is presumed to depend not only on the strength of the trait in the individual but also on the nature of the action. Like, situation dependent siya. Okay? Context with which behavior occurs also plays as a role in helping us selecting appropriate traits terms for observed behaviors. Ano nga bang definitions ng trait at state also refer to way in which one individual varies from one another. Okay? Yun yung similarities nito. Okay? Assessors may make comparison among people who, because of their membership in some group or from any number of other reasons, are directly not average. Okay? Next na tayo. Dito tayo sa assumption. Assumption number 2, in psychological traits and state can be quantified and measured. Once the trait, state, or other structure has been defined to measure, a test developer consider the types of item content that would provide insight to it to guess the strength of that trait. Sinasabi nitong assumption number 2 natin, measuring traits and state means of a test entails developing not only appropriate test items but also appropriate ways to score the test and interpret the result.
Diyan ka.
Nagala ko,
Natawag kita kanina pa. Kinilas ko pa kinuha. Bakit?
Tapos nun, sige, talay tayo sa may,
Sino yan?
wala, nagre-record ako. Sige na. Sorry for interruption. So, way back na tayo dito sa may cumulative scoring. Ano nga pa yan? This is a assumption that the more the test taker's response in a particular direction read by the test manual or correct or consistent with a particular traits. The higher the test taker is presumed to be on the target ability or trait. Okay? Next na tayo sa assumption number 3. Assumption number 3. This is test related behavior predicts non-test related behavior. Such tests only yield a sample of behavior that can be expected to eliminate under non-test condition. The test takers in some tests mimics the actual behavior that the test user is attempting to understand. Okay? Number 4, assumption. This is the test. Other measure techniques have strengths and weaknesses. Competent test users understand and appreciate the limitation of the test they use, as well as how those limitations might be compensated for by data from other resources. Okay? The assumption number 5, the various sources or error are part of the assessment process. Okay? Error refers to something that is more than expected. It is component of the measurement process. It refers to long-standing assumption that factors of other than what the test attempts to measure will influence performance on the test. Error variance, the component of the test scores attributable to the source other than the traits or ability measured. Meron tayong mga potential scores of error variance like assessors, measuring instrument, and random errors such as luck, diba? And meron din tayong tinatawag na classical test theory. Each test takers has true score on the test would be obtained but for the action of measurement error. Number 6 assumption is testing and assessment can be conducted in a fair and unbiased manner. In all questions about tests with regard to fairness, it is important to keep in mind that tests are tools. They can be used properly or improperly. Despite the best effort of many professional fairness-related questions and problems do occasionally rise. Okay. The last assumption, number 7, testing and assessment benefits society. Considering the many critical decisions that are based on settings that may based on testing and assessment procedures, we can readily appreciate the needs of the test. Okay. Next natin video ay about sa reliability, variance, mga ganun guys ha. If you have any question, please comment down below. And thank you for watching. I hope you learned.